This is a strange color iguana. I guess it's depicting the background which it finds itself in. But I'm videotaping it because I've never seen an iguana this color here yet. Haven't seen it here in Crown Bay. As the youngsters nowadays, no energy. They have no energy. They just walk instead of laps. They want to walk. Back in the day, this was impossible. The coach used to be out here and they never would walk. They would actually run. And this is in the Ripple Park. Right here used to be the basketball court. And they relocated back over here. It used to be over there where the field is at. But back in the day, it was over by the Windward Passage over there, and we change it around to reflect modern day time. Now the hill over there, on the top of the hill is a White House, cylindrical White House, long White House, and the top of it is Harbor View Hotel. And next to it was Miss Daniel, and the other one was Lockett places. We used to live in that particular area. Today it's nowhere anything the way it used to be. It's in decline. This used to be a vital place. Now down here it's called Buckhole. This used to be like a muddy area, a lot of little houses, a lot of mud, and immigrants used to live that came to St. Thomas used to live in this area here before, and had a distillery plant down here where the hotel is at and where the GRS is at right now. All that used to be living quarters for people. We used to call it Buckhole back in the late 50s and 60s. All this used to be swampland. Round the field. Around the field from the Pilgrim Terrace. This shot is from Pilgrim Terrace, looking in at Lionel Roberts Stadium. Around the field, looking straight out into Estate Thomas, Bed Castle. Pictures from Pilgrim Terrace, looking into the harbor, Haven site. There's one ship in today, and then you have I think that's Black Bed Castle in the distance. It's a hotel now. And then you have down there, you have Hassel Island and a little bit of Water Island. Last night, unexpectedly, on an Stormy day here in St. Thomas. It's a stormy day here in St. Thomas after the storm here. It's kind of like, why am I not? It's a stormy day here in St. Thomas after the storm, and I'm trying to capture it from my perspective. Right here, looking into this harbor right here on St. Thomas. It's a stormy day. It's out of nowhere. Wind came, gushing, knocking down trees and doing all kind of strange things that was not forecast. Knocking down trees that was not forecast. So it's one of those things you want to come out and capture the aftermath after the storm. So this is the aftermath after the storm here last night. Wind gusts about 40 miles per hour, shooting through this island called St. Thomas. And so I'm out exploring today to see exactly what's out here. So, you know, you gotta find out what happened. You just can't stay home. You gotta see, as a reporter, you gotta come out and see what you can capture. No ship into this. I'm gonna point my camera in that direction to show you there's no ship in the harbor today. We have no ship in the harbor today. As you can see, there's no ship in the harbor today. I'm gonna keep arm length for my camera. But there's no ship in the harbor today, and you can see some nice flag flying along the perimeter there, but I'm depicting no ship. But the scenery and cloudiness is still prevailing over this island after the storm. The rain haven't had a lot of rain, but had a lot of wind. It seems like the rain is getting ready to come in. So I'm gonna mosey on down in the city to see if it was actually any effect down there in the city, and then head back up in the back up to the mountain and call it a day. So anyway, this is it after the storm. The harbor today after the storm. So there's some activity taking place. So the Coast Guard may have allowed ships to come into the harbor today after the storm has passed by. But this is what the harbor looked like on this particular day, February the 3rd, I think, 2026. And then we heading out back down to the city, see what's in the city. But I want to capture the ship coming in to the bay here, coming from, I think that's the St. Croix ferry that runs once a day from the island of St. Croix. So this is what it looks like. I'm looking into Garden Street from my vantage point here. I'm gonna try to get up in that little area there and take a shot of down in Garden Street. It's a picture of Garden Street down there and Bluebird Castle on the horizon there, and the city itself called Garden Street is right down there. And on the top we got a place called Blackbird Castle. So I'm going to try to showcase Blackbird Castle in my video from this vantage point. Right up in the hill is Blackbird Castle. They turned it into a mega hotel now up on that hill there. But I'm descending into Garden Street right now. As you can see the Reformed Church chimney and the rolling hill of Iguana Hotel up on that hill. And you can see a little bit of Bluebird Castle up there in the hill. So it's interesting. It's a cloudy day, so what you see is what you get on a cloudy day after the storm here. You know. Villa Santana, someplace down here looking over the city of Charlotte Amalie. Villa Santana, we call Fort Christian here in U.S. Virgin Island. And I'm not sure, yeah, it's Fort Christian here in U.S. Virgin Island. And I'm I'm gonna see if I can capture. Where y'all coming from? Where y'all coming from? I'm a VI photographer. Where y'all coming from?
Yeah. Florida.
Who? Florida?
Alabama.
Alabama. What part?
Auburn.
Albany, Georgia?
Yeah, Lake Martin right there. Close to Auburn.
Yeah, because I went through Albany, Georgia. It has Rich House in the middle of the square, right? And they have one of the largest, we call it again, the largest veteran memorial site in Albany, Georgia. Now I didn't know it was Albany, Alabama.
Auburn.
Oh, Auburn, the football field. Yeah, but that's in Montgomery. Yeah, that's Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery, because I flow through. I've been doing this thing, and I've been to all the small town America. So that's why I asked a question, where you from? Because I just want to get an idea of where you from, so I can say, well, I've been there. Because the world is a small place. So when you say where you from, I can just relate to it. Huh? Of course. Your name, man? Randy Peterson? John Alexander. We call this place the Lutheran Church here. After the storm here, the reporter have to come out to see this cloudy day on St. Thomas after the storm. Up street in St. Thomas, up street. This is what Main Street look like after the aftermath of the storm here. And it's a famous post office across from the Grand Hotel right here in Main Street, US Virgin Island. So it's always a beautiful sight. The sun is not blazing hot, but you still can get here's Hotel 1829. But this is actually an observation post right outside of the Main Street, and it depicts most of the educators on the wall here. As you go through here, you'll see them lying there. The area here, the black educators who helped to bring the Afrocentric out of what we call the emancipation area here. in the Virgin Islands. If you ever come here, you'll see them. They'll be lining that the wall there, and up in the area, you'll have a beautiful area to look at. It'll be part of their portfolio. Anyway, this is the Emancipation Garden here in St. Thomas. That's how there. And this is the hill that I was referring to right there. Today, right after the storm here. Thoroughfare here called the post office. Downtown post office. Always been a popular place for people to come and congregate. But people don't congregate here anymore. It used to be a main central area where people actually congregate here and socialize. Those days seem to be over with. They don't come down and socialize here anymore. They just walk through, get the mail, and keep going. But the flavor of camaraderie here at the post office has been gone. Back in the day, it was the place that you want to meet. If you don't know who's here, you just come right here in this place called the post office, and you will see your friends coming to pick up their mail. Today is not what we call a post office. People has changed their attitude. Their behavior is different. They're not stopping and talking anymore. They just get the mail and they keep going. But this used to be the central square of the post office. If you want to meet people, you come here and you see them. On top of the hill is where people actually will come and participate. But today it's not like that. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'll be standing here back in the day. Right here on St. Thomas used to be the central square. See? Everybody used to come here, pick the mail up, meet each other in this particular area here called the post office. It's no longer like that because people don't socialize how they used to socialize before. They just come, pick the mail up and go. So I'm just trying to captivate what it used to look like right here in the post office. And down here used to be what we call, so if you come here, you had to come through what we call Main Street. And this here was actually the main street. The main street was right here where people will meet up here in this particular area here, downtown Charlotte and Mali. Over there is we call it Emancipation Garden, but this used to be the central happening place of back in the day of what St. Thomas heyday used to look like. It has bypassed this period, and now it has become just a walk-through for tourists instead of a social area where people should socialize. So I'm gonna spin my camera around in that area and see what I can come up with from that perspective, and see if I can capture the essence of what the post office used to look like. I just got a hail up there, but I'm gonna put it right here in that we call the Emancipation Garden. Right here is where most people again used to come out and be part of. Today is no longer like that, but I'm gonna just put myself in this picture because I'm reflecting back on how it used to be. It used to be a place where you come and socialize and you have a great time, but today people come, pick up the mail and they run off and they go places. They didn't say, well, hello, hey, Wappa guy, how you doing? So that's the whole concept of the changing veneer of St. Thomas environment. People no longer stopping to smell the roads. They actually just come and go, pass through. It's a pass-through city nowadays. It's not a city of socializing or engagement of each other anymore. It's a pass-through city that I'm depicting here downtown Charlotte Marty, where the educators are on top of the hillside there. I'm not sure what the name of these people are, but they're founders of educational system and the organic act of the Virgin Island environment. So this is a photo shoot of an outskirts, like, you know, Marietta outskirt. It seemed to have 1, 2, 3, 4 corners that you can access this place. And it seemed like most of them were set up in a similar way as any colonizer has set up their city. They have a little town in a square, and the little town in a square is where they used to congregate and have a social meeting. That social meeting, for some odd reason, it was this place is a beautiful place, but it seemed like some people didn't take advantage of that opportunity of capitalizing on their emancipation progress. They seem to have fallen by the wayside, and for economical reason or choice of their own, I don't know. But that's what makes it different. We call it Grand Hotel. I'm not sure if it's open, but this would be a happening place called the Grand Hotel. Today it may have been open, I don't know, but it used to be called the Grand Hotel. Patient Garden, correct? Now when you walk through there, you see people sort of like in a derelict condition, right? What have they done with their emancipation freedom? Is it because they have chosen to be that way, or society have them like that? The people who actually sitting in those places, like they're home, like they don't have nowhere to go, right?
I think it's just
Huh?
them itself. But society does come out with them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's mostly that.
Yeah, because I was saying to myself, what would the tourists say, right? As the Danish tourists and the European tourists and American tourists who come through here, right? And see the Afrocentric in a derelict state, and you're saying, you proclaiming that we was emancipated. So my question, what have you done with that emancipation of freedom? It's like, for example, I don't know if you went to Charlotte Somali High School, right? You went to Charlotte Somali High School?
No.
They have some called Excel Always, right? So when I see the people, I say, what have you done with that education that you received to excel always? And I'm elated when someone said, I went on to be a doctor, I went on to be a lawyer, I went on to be, you know what I'm saying? A facility man, because they took that motto seriously, right? Just like that garden there should be taken seriously, letting it seriously to say, look here, this is where we was emancipated, right? So we're supposed to project it as we actually did something with our lives. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what really, as a tourist come by, here, go ahead, you will say to them, right? If you have a family member, right? Be cognizant of your behavior, because your reflection is telling the tourists that your forefathers who liberate you from St. John, St. Croix, and St. Thomas did it in vain. You are their offspring, right?
Yeah.
And how could you How could you actually allow yourself to disrespect their sacrifice? You know Queen Mary was burned to the stake, right?
Yeah.
Okay? The people in St. John, some of them commit suicide. Some of them come over to BPI, right? So that's the heartbroken aspects of what I kind of like see.
Yeah.
I don't know if other people seen it.
And then what I can also say is
Yeah.
they did try something for the people there.
Yeah.
And at first they had stopped them from even actually being under here.
Yeah.
But
Then they get mad with you, right? And then those people who doing it don't see what you're talking about, right? And they get mad with you and saying you're denying them their human rights. But what you're saying to them as a Virgin Islander who's proactive, look man, there's a lot of programs out here. You don't have to be like that. And most of the time what happens, some of these guys' family left them some property.
yeah, I was even talking to a guy today.
Yeah.
He was very much head on. Going on, he has his family.
Yeah.
Etc. Some went away, some still here. But sometimes when people don't want certain help, they got put in certain positions where it's like, no.
Yeah. And that's what I discovered as I traverse the island and kind of like captivated on what it was like when I was here for 17 years of my life, and then I left and I came back, right? So I understand the heyday, how people was proud. The main post office, when you stop there, right? Everybody used to greet each other there. It was a central area, where if you want to see your buddies, right, you come there, right? And if 10 out of 10 people, 9 of them gonna hail you, right? As I was doing a video shoot there, right? 10 people passed by there, not one of them said like that, right? So that what did it tell me? It told me either my generation had expired or people has changed their what? Social norm. They don't stop anymore. They just get it made and they keep going. See? It used to be if you want to know what's happening, you stop there, your people come out and say, man, you know the party happening over there? You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to be there right there. So it hasn't changed, it hasn't went back that way, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you was able to keep your head on and focus on achieving your objective.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do anyway. All right, talk to you later. This is the famous Emancipation Garden here. I'm depicting in my video. I'm actually showcasing the Emancipation Garden from a Christian perspective and showing exactly what it looks like today, the area that where Afrocentric under Danish rule was actually liberated. In this place called Emancipation Garden. Up on the hill here's a fort in which the establishment kept law and order to keep the people actually in check. So this fort actually was established in the year 1671. 1671 meaning that's when the Danish occupiers actually built this fort to keep the property and colonize the particular area. The depiction of the fort itself, which was built here in 1671 here, and I gotta watch my camera, 1671 here, the fort was built here in 1671 to establish a colonial power here under the Danish era. So I'm here depicting this beautiful fort in the back of me and coming back years after and see what's symbolic about this place here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So down here is actually in the distance, it's a building, but that building used to be the warehouse. I was told that was a warehouse when the Afrocentric people came here and changed. They used to store them in that building over there. They call it, I don't know what to call the building, but Little Switzerland now. And that's what makes it interesting, because now it's a jewelry store, but it used to be a warehouse to house Afrocentric slave, as it was deposited here under the Danish occupational system to be transported and used as they see fit in the sugarcane and the cotton, but primarily sugarcane plantation throughout their empire. And then it moved to St. John. Then eventually also had a port over in St. Croix. But that's where we used to house the brothers and sisters who came here on this particular island. So if you hear the bell ringing, right, you will think that the bell is ringing, but what it's playing? It's playing the same song that their colonial people played when they actually had the Afrocentric enslaved. And they was proclaiming the gospel, but they still had the Afrocentric people in slavery. So what is hypocrisy about that? You're proclaiming this gospel, but you still have these people enslaved here, and this is your main place that you use to rule and control those people here. It's called Port Christian, and Governor Christian was a Danish governor that was ruling over this territory here in the Virgin Islands. His name was Governor Christian, and some of the local name people got his name, and his name is synonymous to judges and different prominent people here in the Virgin Islands. The name Christian, but he was a Danish governor who was sent here to rule over the Afrocentric people during that time here in the Americas. Not the Americas, but the Danish occupation here in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Island. That's what makes it interesting, because people still didn't understand how could a Christian nation, colonies, Christian, go to church, Anglican church, every Sunday, proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ, but actually doing wicked stuff, like enslaving their own brethren here in the Americas and the Danish West Indies, and throughout the world where they actually been. So this is their fort itself here, depicted in my video of the fort itself back in the heyday. That was actually literally was built with slave labor to enforce the law against them, which is strange, isn't it? Slave labor built the fort so the people can occupy to enforce the law to keep them in slavery. Wow, that's something else. Think about it, that's strange. But that's exactly what happened. They built it, but it was set up to enforce the law to keep them in slavery. Wow, something else, isn't it?
When it reached to my father,
Yeah,
he starts to sell it.
that's the problem.
And he sold everything.
But you know
The
why?
last piece that he sold was the piece we were living on.
What's the name of it?
Eh?
What's the name of it? Martin?
No, Haynes, Stanley Haynes.
Stanley Haynes.
Yes. And so, my mother because I told her I had no work back in them days.
I know that.
When I was like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand the concept.
And she came down here now. The older sister was the one who was in charge. And every weekend, we would go down to the wharf and we would get
send up a package
of supplies.
Yeah.
And we with that and what fish we could catch and our little garden, we were doing good.
Yeah.
But when he sold that spot, he sold it to Scott Lift.
Yeah.
So Scott Lift could extend his wayside in.
Oh, Road Town.
Yes, right over our spot.
Yeah. How much acre?
It was only a house spot. But
you say he sell a lot of land.
He sell a lot of land. I don't know how much land. That was land elsewhere.
Okay, that's what. But you know what normally happened? The British, right, told the Tertullians, right, after slavery, right, emancipation, right, we will sell you the land cheap, right, and you can buy back the asset that we had, and that's why the Tertullians end up with a lot of land, correct?
Right.
But what happened in the British law is called something, the oldest son is who's in charge, and then his oldest son, and then his oldest son. But if one of them son don't keep the oldest son in check, he gonna do what? He gonna eliminate the asset that his great grandfather had established for what? So his offspring could have a better life, and maybe that's why
he did.
Maybe that's why you didn't go back. And you know what normally happened? Here's the secret. People who selling it, people who they selling it to will keep it a secret. You understand?
True.
And if they actually tell you or tell someone in the family about it, right, you will give them your opinion.
Yeah.
And sometimes just give them opportunity to change your mindset.
True.
But to do it in closed door, brother.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, man. Okay. All right. Same here. I know the story, man. Yeah, the story is one of them things where, I have a question that baffling me. Oh, you can't actually answer the question, right? Okay. Yeah. Down there, right? It's symbolic for emancipation, right? Is that correct? Now, when the Danish people come through here, right? An American come through, right? And they see the brothers derelict, right? What do they think in their mind? The emancipation should have been, not have been, because look what these guys did with it. I mean, what's your opinion? You don't see that from your perspective? You don't see it?
I don't know. I wasn't able to have an answer.
But you ain't observing them? You ain't observing what I'm saying? You ain't get it. You ain't see it. You ain't see it. You ain't see it. This is wrong by the calendars here by the Young God. I'm in search of a story of Salvan. And I happen to be wrong by the calendars here. The Young God, right here, right by the place we used to play as a youngster, the Young God. You can see it's not as flowing how it used to flow. But this used to be a big gut here. When the rain come down, we used to play in this gut here called the Young God here. And this yard over here used to be Prince David Yard. By the calendars right here, Jimmy Calendar used to live here. It seemed like this house is abandoned too. So I don't know, everything seemed to be abandoned. I said, this family here called the Calendars. Jimmy Calendar used to live in this house here. And they built this house back in the 60s, but nowadays, and this yard was Prince. Had a school children behind there, but this used to be Prince David Yard. We used to live in this yard. Now it's a school here called Jenny Tewis School in Salvan. But I don't see the Vanderpool, not the Vanderpool, but I wonder if that's their house, Maurice them house over there. But I remember this house was a Calendar's house, all abandoned, there's no power to it. And that's what normally happens when people expire and then they don't have a will. And then other people don't. This was Sebastian M house right there back in the day. Maurice Sebastian M, like you said, things go downhill fast. Nobody ain't doing nothing. Families quarreling, fighting. And this is what this whole entire neighborhood looks like now. It has now went to ruin. It doesn't seem like people used to live here at all anymore. Life is strange. This place is called New Savane. This should be the suburb of St. Thomas, where most people came out of it. And right over here, right there where you have the school and all the children making noise right now, Inga Raymond, Marjorie George, the King them used to live in there. And it was interesting how things has transformed itself into a different style when people abandon homes and move away. Looking at the hillside of Savane from in Savane. So that's what the houses on the hill look like, looking down into Savane from this vantage point. We used to call Prince David Yard. We used to live there as a youth. You know where Al McBean? Yeah. That's where he grew up, in there. Okay? And people like the Kings. And then up here was, down there was like, what do you call the guy name again? The Sidney George them. See? And your father must be in the same era of Sidney George, Henry Martin. You know what I'm saying? So he had to be in the same era of Sidney George coming through Savane. So it's interesting because Savane, like every place else, you know what destroying the Virgin Island? I'm gonna tell you what destroying the Virgin Island, right? There's two things, right? Two things, right? Abandoned cars and abandoned house. You know what I'm saying? Abandoned cars and abandoned house. And all of them are absentee, right? What's a good car? Tell me. You know what I learned? I learned that Brian, the governor, he grew up in Nada where I live, up there by the pauper shop. Yeah. I heard he grew up there. And then you would think that he will want to transform the island, and all them guys always say when they want to get elected, what do they say? I'm a Sabanero, man.
That's what he's having.
Yeah, they always say that. The young, I'm a Sabanero. Yeah, they don't recognize where the roots is for real. They just playing the game, right? That's what they do. You can't keep deceiving the people like the young up here, right? A young man coming through here, the young gut, right? He was there 2 terms, right? He buy up all of, I was told, right? He buy up all of Babel plus Niski. That's his. That's his. That's his, right?
I mean, I forget. But then I was saying, government should buy this building because you see what government offices are there. But that's just to pay him.
What's the catch? What's the catch with government? They always rent.
Yeah.
Instead of buy a piece of land or take a piece of land and create central government, guess what it do? The word has a word, right? They actually subsidize the political contributors, right? And they've been doing it for a long time. Look what they're gonna try to do now. Lock us, off their way where Kmart used to be. You know what going in there? Temporary school. Charlotte Marley gonna be housing there.
Maybe
Yes, but Why did Savon didn't get the revitalization grant, historical grant that the federal government initiated? You got some of it?
They say, at least 2027, they got built back the same.
Historically.
We in the same, yeah.
So they want you to go to Mayberry. Yeah. But you know, historically, that's what they do. You know why? Here's why. Because from a national...
You preserve something.
Go ahead. 2026. This was Savon. The heyday of the Young family was up there with them coconut trees. Beyond that, that was their estate. And they sold a lot of their land to the Afrocentric as a house spot because it was either German immigrants that marry an Afrocentric woman, and then their children sell the land to their Afrocentric mother lineage. And then this is what, the gut is still here. This is a depiction of a gut right here in Savon. See? The young gut, they call it. Coconut tree still line it, and the water still flow through here. This is the famous Sidney George grocery store here, right here in Savon. If you climb that hill, it'll be the Schneider them house up on the hill there. But this is a famous Sidney George grocery store. I came up to see if I can see Sidney George Jr., but I don't see him up there. So I gotta grab my camera and scan the neighborhood. But if you look up that hill right there with the camera, this is famous Schneider. People live up that hill up there, way up there. So right now, back in the heyday, it used to be an affluent place. Today it's in decay. And if you spin my camera around, you'll see some place up there called a lodge, where people used to go dancing, having a good time, I guess. Right up there, the yellow building is called a lodge. And yeah, heavy wind blowing today, so you gotta be careful. But I'm scanning Savon on foot today, looking for a story, but most people actually move away. Dr. Schneider live here, up on this hill here, and this was their view of the harbor here. And this road here will take you up to Solberg. I didn't realize it was here, but it's Solberg Road. Dr. Schneider them had, from their house, second story, third story, a beautiful view of the harbor here, Charlotte O'Malley High School. Charlotte O'Malley, from their house spot here. And I don't know why they let the house run down, but this is where they used to live. In this house here, it doesn't seem like anyone living it anymore. It's a shame. He had two sisters, one sister with two daughters. But this is their house right there. It seems like it's in abandoned shape. Place here, looking up the street here in Savon. Street here back in the day here, called Perkins Shop, and I'm gonna try to capture the search of a story of Savon, right? So Savon was what?
Was town on the island.
And it's called New Savon, right?
Well,
it was called New.
Savon.
Okay.
Spell different back then. SAVANN.
Okay.
One N.
Okay. So what was some famous spot in Savon? Grocery store.
Up the Red Bar.
What else?
One to Hassan.
What is the other one up there?
Red Bar will close down now.
And what was another one? It was a small grocery store called Perkins. Okay. Okay, and then it was up. Yeah. 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 What about Millicent? You know, she used to sell candy. She used to sell candy back in the day. Freeman.
Up in the land.
Yeah, and then who house over the bridge? Let me see if you know that.
Young.
Steelos. Over the bridge. Young is in the gut. What happened to Jimmy Calendar house abandoned? The calendar.
People live in there.
But ain't no electricity. You know the calendar
People live in there.
right across
Up
from.
by the school.
Yeah.
That's the one up in here with bar.
Yeah.
Up
It's
in
back.
the bar in here.
Yeah, but I'm saying the calendar. Remember, he was a senator behind the school.
Yes.
How come ain't nobody living in the mall?
Still around. Stylish.
I know that's their family.
Still around, yeah. Still up.
I know who stylish is. An attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he's attorney. Yeah, he's attorney. And then who we had like we call
Back here by
what about
Get some.
okay, let's some.
Yeah.
Let's some up by but let's some is up
the
there.
laundry.
Laundry
Yeah.
man.
No, laundry, yes.
Right. By Vanderpool.
Up there,
Tell me
yeah.
about the Vanderpool White House.
Wonderful of estate.
What how that came into
That's
existence?
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Who?
Jackson.
Vanderpool man.
Defender. I know the name. Wonderful up there.
Yeah, but the White House is synonymous with Vanderpool. Christian Vanderpool built the White House. Yeah.
House still up there.
Yeah, but
Up with the lodge. You know the
Yeah.
old lodge?
up the hill by where Sidney George.
I live on the area too.
But that big house up there on the hill where Schneider used to live. Schneider, the governor.
I don't know. For my text.
Up, that big 3-story house up there, up above Sidney George.
When I see that song,
No, going straight up the hill by Sidney George Grocery. It's a big
up
3-story
by
house.
Malone,
Yeah, it's not sick with what's the name used to live? Schneider. No, I know Sidney George right by the lodge. Come down by the lodge
Make a left.
and you make a left. But the house that go up on the hill from him. Yeah, that was Schneider house. Yeah, but ain't nobody in it.
People don't come back home, man. People go away and just sit. People gone away, man.
So who used to live here?
I don't want to go up. I'm going to stop.
But your nucleus is up there by Jenny Tui's school.
That's my area. I went to school.
That's where you grew up.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you the story, right? Century after, that yard, that yard right there,
Yeah.
where Jenny Tui's school is.
Yeah.
That's where I used to live before build a school. It's
Yeah.
called Prince David Yard.
That's my people, them.
Yeah, I used to live in there.
Daily.
Yeah,
Tell my David and my great grandma.
yeah, and Inga Raymond them.
That's the people. Scientists, them.
Yeah, right in
My
there.
people them.
King them.
My people, them.
Yeah,
David.
we used to live in that yard there. Davis was a merchant marine, right?
I wouldn't know.
That's what it told me, right?
Yeah.
He was a merchant marine and came back and actually
People, them, man.
Prince David.
People, them.
That's your people, right?
Tell my David and.
Yeah. We used to live in a yard right there. You know Maurice Sebastian? Maurice? He used to live next door by your people, man. Maurice.
I don't know.
Sebastian them. Right there in the greenhouse, in there by Jenny Tui's school. That was Maurice Sebastian them house.
I don't know that.
Yeah, if he was in the 70s, you know that too, right? You know that.
Wana,
Huh? Miss Wana.
still up there.
Yeah.
Still around walking.
Miss Wana. And then got some more Wanas down and it's fancy.
She's walking.
Yeah.
My teacher.
Yeah. Jenny Tui's school. But what's his name was the principal of Jenny Tui's school, man?
Have you gone?
Sydney
Assistant.
Judge.
To assistant.
Sydney
To
Judge.
Harrigan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to Mr. Harrigan.
Yes. Had Mr. Newton.
Yeah, Mr. Newton.
Yeah. Still around.
Yeah. Okay.
teacher.
Smokey. The
Fred.
first barber. I mean the first tailor. You know, he got a grocery.
Yeah, down the road.
Yeah, but he used to live up in here.
Yes, Mr. Gada.
Vestagata.
Yes.
And Lexum and Vestagata, too, right?
So, you know he?
Let me see who he is.
German.
I don't remember him.
The school. The school over the yard.
Yeah. Oh, okay, he looked familiar. Okay, man. Okay, all right, man. All right. And then, you know, Kenneth Balak used to live around the corner there by Jamal Maddox, going up them steps.
I know Maddox them.
Yeah, Maddox, a guy used to live in there with a one-hand man. He was living right in the corner of
Oh, upstairs,
Vestagata.
she building.
Yeah. Kenneth Valak.
Pass away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Young still live okay.
Yeah. Vestagada. See?
No, up. They go ahead, up the
but
front.
Jamal Maddox going up to Jamal Maddox. Newport.
Yep.
Newport changed his name to
Boston.
we
We got children named Maddox now.
Yeah.
Last time thing, right?
Yeah.
One of you up in a store.
Yeah, Green House. Yeah.
Sahili or something like that you name.
Yeah, but Maddox, Maddox, the other one has changed his name from Newport to Morocco. Remember Morocco?
Yes.
Morocco was Newport, and then he changed his name to
Remember where bad Chermy, he passed away.
he had 15 children. You know Papo? Them down in Anna's Fancy now, man. Mahogany Estate. He had 15 children. He had Papo, all them. And he used to run from Puerto Rico, Red Bar Grocery. And I'm surprised he still have it.
But look, your bar closed down.
Yeah,
but upstairs, apartments.
Yeah, but what's going on
Chermy
now?
passed away some years ago.
What's going on now, right? Is that the transformation is taking place to a new demographic. So I was happy to run into you, know why? Because you can reflect back on what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You understand?
Something.
Yeah, certain thing. Your last name is what? Penn.
When the 80s come up, you remember stuff.
That's when I left.
Yeah, when the 80s.
I left here in 73.
Oh,
Okay? Yeah. And so you was a generation after I left.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you can reflect, and them thing was still there, but it was declining. But it was declining. You know a guy in the corner used to name he was a Williams. Right in the corner is down in there by the Head Start place. He was a Williams. A short man used to live right in the corner. His name ain't Papo. He had a nick. You know everybody used to have a nickname, right? But he was an older man to live right in the corner.
I had a store behind Roosevelt. Remember?
Yeah, Roosevelt. Yeah. You remember the we call them guys again? The Daniel. Daniel had a store in the corner here, right?
By the market.
Yeah, but it had that's their property right in the corner there too. You didn't know that, right? That's their property. Yeah, Ken.
A red man.
Yeah, he passed out. He was my neighbor.
You were gay, right? That was saying.
I can't figure out what it was. He hid all he was my neighbor all these years, right? I never seen him with a woman. He walked all the way, right?
Yeah.
Wherever he go, he walked.
Yeah,
and I remember when he was
He ran beyond the body.
what happened, he was his only mother child, right? And he was a male, he used to go wherever he went with her, right? But we never see him with no woman. No man either. No man either.
No.
So nobody know what he was. You can't say what he was because you don't know. It's just like he was isolated.
Yeah.
He stuck to himself.
Yes.
So you can't say he was. You can't say he was a guy. Because you never seen him with nobody, right? And if always a move, but a guy like that, if he was, he would expose himself eventually. So he didn't expose himself. See what I'm saying? So he was not.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You understand the concept?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I stopped here. My name is Leon. My last name is Valak. Valak. V-A-R-L-A-C-K like St. John boat.
What last name for? What?
I'm gonna tell you how. It's a man of valor.
I say tattoo and ankle and kiss.
I'm gonna tell you where the name came from. It came out of a little island called Anagada. Okay, it was a shipwreck, a Danish boat. And you know how these Caucasian like Afrocentric women, right? So he impregnated one of them and they started a clan, right? And out of the clan, the other guy went to what we call weekly in Tatola, and he brought her back, right? And he started Valak clan, right? And from there they went to St. Thomas and they went to America. But here's what it did. It changed the pigmentation by marrying into the Norman.
And you say you were clear.
Yeah! Once they married into the Norman, they changed the color like how them Aunt William did. See what I'm saying? But the Valak did that, right? And it was trying to hide their Afrocentric history, right? Until I engaged them. And the woman had to say, man, my grandfather was dark like you, man. But we marry into the Norman. And that's how our pigmentation changed. Like this girl named, she was over, she was in politics. Her name was Evangeline Varlak, right? And they like, what's in it? Kat Varlak, right? And then the woman who was a,
What the hair just like
that Patricia Varlak.
what the hair, yeah, straight hair?
Yeah, the hair was like, because my hair is actually curly hair, right? Straight hair too, but I dark, so I know that's where it came from, right? Like how your hair is, it was like that. But his Afrocentric was so dominant, right? That a lot of his Afrocentric came out with a dark skin color, right? And then they changed it by marrying to the Norman and the Wheatley.
High colors.
Yeah, and then they blend in there and try to forget who they really, and then they blend in, you understand? And that happened to the Webster, same thing in Anguilla.
What's on red?
Yeah, the same thing, but the grandmother's black like me. But for years, this guy said to me, look here, man, I've been seeing this woman for years in my family tree, and I never know that was my grandmother because she was black like that. And what it did when it came to, because they have Irish descendants, they try to gravitate towards that Irish and pretend there's something else that they're not.
You know, color how you get more opportunity, like.
Yeah, that's what it did. That's what it, guys, that's what it did. But reality is reality, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they try to, for you and Papa, your family,
Epifanio is my grandfather.
yeah, Epifanio.
Yeah, that's it.
Down by, isn't it, Epifanio offspring live down in Mahogany Estate, one of your family?
Yes, there is.
You know where Mahogany Estate is, man? Yeah, down by, going up by the graveyard.
Down there.
So maybe my connection is wrong then, right?